Hey everyone. So today we're going to take a look at South Africa and um, Cuba. So, they're both have a lot in common and they both have a lot of diversity or differences. Let's take a look at South Africa first. Country's completely in mayhem. Stores are stripped, buildings are on fire. They have an unemployment rate of right around 40%, and they're trying to blame that on COVID. COVID's accelerated it some, but the truth of the matter is that South Africa has now been a socialist slash communist party for 30 years or so, and it's starting to take its toll. And so, what do the people there do? They go out and they rob, they loot, they burn, and now they're putting all these small businesses out of business. Seen a video of one lady that had a party store. I mean, completely devastated. And stealing TVs, refrigerators, even though the country's power grid now is failing. But they'll continue their genocide against the white farmers and reappropriating their farms, as they call it, which has now been legalized in the country. The Congress has passed it, and the High Court has refused to hear the case of the white farmers. So, which basically means they're if you're a white farmer in America, South Africa, you're like the most dangerous profession in the world. 138 deaths per 100,000 a year, and not just deaths. I mean, gruesome torture. Uh, One couple was dragged out of her house at 2 a.m., bound, uh, tortured with a blowtorch. I mean, basically had her breast burned off, the woman. I, I even if I showed pictures on this site, I wouldn't show them pictures because she basically had the skin burned off half her body. I mean, how she lived, I don't even know. And they stuffed uh, some plastic down her throat. Nobody today still knows how she was able to breathe after that. But they're going to do this, and now they've burned down all the producers. There's no food. How they're going to resupply these stores is unknown. They're destroying the farmland in South Africa because what happened, and this has happened in other countries, uh, the indigenous black population comes in and seizes the white farms. Within a few years, the farms lay fallow, and the country goes through a terrible famine. And international help starts coming in because the country can't feed itself anymore. And we're going to see that in South Africa maybe within 5 years. Now they've done so much destruction, we may even see it sooner than that. And the cause of it is the socialist slash communist government that now rules the country. But do they take it out on them? No. They take it out on the store and shop owners and businesses that are employing people and set them on fire, burn them to the ground, burn the malls. And the police are overwhelmed. There's plenty of videos just sitting there seeing um, of them just sitting there watching what they're doing, and it's a shame, but I guess the jails are full. There's nothing they can do with them. So now citizens, armed citizens, are taken to the streets, and you basically are very close to just a all-out civil war. And I knew this was going to happen 30 years ago. You know, Nelson Mandela was an avid communist. And when he took control of the country, you knew what the future of the country was going to be. Now you take a look at Cuba. People marched through the streets. They've been under communist rule for 60 plus years. They didn't burn anything. They didn't destroy anything. They were peacefully marching through the streets. And they let them march through the streets. Then at night, they cut power to the city. And, jack-footed, government officials, cops, whatever you want to call them, went in, and I want to say they apprehended, or kidnapped would be a better word, 150 of the leaders of this ring, and Lord knows what's happening to them now. And the Democrats are really in a dilemma because they have a past history of supporting Cuba. You know, Obama doing away with Fidel, all the things Bernie said positive about Cuba. The Democrat, the current administration tried to blame it on coronavirus. Yeah, all these people are protesting because of coronavirus. So they're having this mass gathering in the street. What's the left call them? Super spreaders. So you're all worried about coronavirus, but you're all going to have this super spreader event happen. And they're claiming they're wanting freedom. I'm not talking about coronavirus, but they're handling it the right way, and they're going to eventually get what they want. And of course, the Miami mayor, all the Cubans are calling for America to do something. And with Biden and these nut jobs that we've got running the country right now, they're not going to do anything. In fact, they will side with the communists. And it puts them between a rock and a hard place. Because for once, people from Venezuela, Cuba, and a few other countries there in South Florida who have lived under communists and know how bad it is and despise it, can look at the Democrats and they basically see the Democrats supporting it. And they're going to permanently be camped, maybe not in the Republican camp, but definitely anti-Democrat camp. And it's going to get ugly for them. Now, this is relatively Florida, but you've got some in Texas, and it's just going to keep getting uglier and uglier for them because they're on the wrong side. So, and how do you think the South African mob, the honest citizens or normal citizens of South Africa, what do you think they're going to think about the South African mob versus the citizens in Cuba, how they're going to think about the people that marched through the street demanding freedom? And the sad part is they were waving American flags. They're not going to get a bit of help from us. Two different cultures. And this doesn't go back decades, this goes back generations. And it's tribal, and it's how you conduct yourself on the world stage. And there's many leaders in the South African Congress right now that are supporting these people committing this crime. Just like there's many leaders in Congress today in America that supported Black Lives Matter and Antifa doing the same thing, to the point they denied that Antifa even existed. It's going to come back and haunt them. All right, thank you all. You have a good day. Bye.